Today, I will be reviewing the dinosaur components of Legacy Magmatron. Now, first off, we got Skysaurus. Skysaurus, or the Quetzalcoatlus, is not really that good in terms of it being its own figure. It's really kind of just here to be the headpiece. The headpiece for Magmatron, and that's it. He has... The other two are much better, but posability-wise, he has... the neck doesn't really move. He has a hinge joint right here, another hinge joint at the head, can look up that far, can look down that far. We have a really wide opening mouth. We have a hinge joint at the wings from back and forth. We have a rotation at the wings. We have another hinge joint. His claw is on a ball joint. His legs are on a ball joint, hinge joint, and then another hinge joint for his foot. So posability-wise, he isn't the greatest. And then he also has weapon storage. These little swords plug into his wings that Magmatron can use in his combined form. And one little thing about this guy is that he is very fat because he has to store Magmatron's head. This guy as a whole is not a good figure. I would give him like a 2 out of 5 because he just is there for the head. Now, in terms of actual better quality, Caesaurus is definitely better, but since you're not going to put a $90 figure in water, he's just kind of a whale that just sits here. Posability-wise, all it is a hinge joint. It's just a bunch of hinge joints all up the neck, some ball joints. It's hard to explain, but his posability in his neck is very weird and specific, and it's not the greatest. I think it would have been better if they just had ball joint, ball joint, ball joint, ball joint. Yeah, but his flippers, these ones, back ones, go up and down. That's it. And these ones go up and down, and they're on a full ball joint. But yeah, otherwise, I don't really have much to say about this guy. Because again, the only real good actual dinosaur in this set is Lansaurus, or the Giganotosaurus. He is solid. I just like messing with him outside of the combined form because, you know, he's solid, he's nice and big. For example, here is the classic 1996, I think, Cheetor next to him. He's quite big, but he's just a solid mode in general. He's just nice to play with. I'll just put in the word later. We have not that much side to side. Max is like that. His mouth can only open that high. He can look down that far. He can look up that far. His arms here are on a ball joint. They can go all the way around. They can go out. His legs. So he has a tight ratchet. His leg can go all the way around. He can go out that far. His knee has a joint, or his knee has a bend. Ooh, whoops. His knee can go that far. He can go back that far. And his heel can go back that much because it's supposed to lock like that, and his foot can go back forward that much. Actually, can it? Yeah. And then he has a pretty good ankle pivot. And then he has a bit of a tail wag. But that's really it for him. And because of how he is, you're supposed to have his knees like constantly bent. So he's pretty much always in this position to mostly hide the kibble. Because I'm gonna be real. As you can see here, you got like the Kingdom Dinobot treatment. These gaps right here are very kibble heavy. And I don't mind it. You know, I don't mind it. It's a combining figure. You're not really gonna have, you know, the luxury of having a perfect figure ever, because Hasbro doesn't know how to put their budget into the right things. But I will say, Magmatron is very good. He is fun to play with. You know, I have no issues with him. But now, I will attempt to transform him. Fits in like that. And that, my friends, is, for the most part, Magmatron. He has some issues having it, but then again, and he's a combiner, he's supposed to, it's kind of his whole thing. Magmatron, he's literally just them, so he doesn't really even have much different posability. Because of everything around his neck, his head has like, it's on a swivel, sure, but it has like no movement because of everything around it. All the posability is the same, but next, I gotta show you how to do this. So, this part you took off of C-Source earlier. The main way to transform it into the shield is just to flip that up after you flip those down. It does not matter how you configure the shield, you can configure it however you want. But just know that the plug right here is supposed to be on the end. So to do this, you want to go to his arm. It's going. Come on, get in there. There you go. That just sits on there. Pretty good connection. But yeah, that's a pretty good. And then finally, the last piece is Magmatron's crotch piece, which to transform, you see this, you want to flip this. Are pretty neat. They have little, oh wait, I didn't go over bicep rotation. Never mind. I didn't go over Magmatron's posability. Whoops. So his arms have a full. They can, if you move this out of the way, they can go forward that far, backward that far, go out. They have a bicep swivel. They have an elbow bend, a double jointed elbow bend for the transformation. They have a wrist hinge, a wrist swivel, and they have 2 sets of these. And then the sword can just go into here. And then you can just kind of close it up once it's, oh, that's not in right. Whoops. Come on, get in there. Yeah, there you go. And then, yeah, that is Magmatron. The leg posability is the same. I forgot to go over the arms, my bad. But yeah, Magmatron, honestly, he's fun. You know, I would not give him to a child. Would not give him to a child. He is on Commander, so he is $90. I think his gimmick is cool. You know, it's a nice little combine, and it works really well. There's nothing wrong with him on my copy. I've never heard anything wrong with him. If you're looking for a good commander, and you have the space, because this guy is pretty big, I would say buy him. My only issue is these. These side skirts limit where the arms can go, because they can only go in so far, and they kind of give him an unnatural pose. But otherwise, I think Magmatron is a good figure. You know, I don't regret buying him. He looks great in my collection, and yeah, I think overall he's a solid figure. If I had to rate him out of 10, I would rate him an 8 out of 10. And for each of the individual dinosaurs, Skysaurus, I would give a 2 out of 5. C-Saurus would be a 2 out of 5. Again, he's just a brick. He does nothing. And Landsaurus, I would give a 4 out of 5, because he has posability and he's pretty fun. But anyway, that concludes my video, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.